Let us begin with a quote from lovely Sadhguru. A love affair need not be with any particular person. You could have a great love affair with life itself, which a person who has infinite higher human conscious potential experiences can tell you all about. So this 5D mystic here. In the enlightenment soul age group, so we have fun in life because our left and right mode are friends. So integration of brain, and that's when you're ready for self-help, personal development, because you're like, yeah, I have emotions, okay, and that's also romance. Until then, we know what narrow states of consciousness do. Okay, so belief doesn't leave a feminine because we contain, no, we maintain pure consciousness, unconsciously loving with flaws, integrity, and that's why we know how to say we're sorry, we know how to make mistakes. We're going to talk about a couple and or more. I might get some channeled guidance, although I'm deciding if I want to do it with the audio alone because I have 4 different groups channeling messages for. Okay, but anyways, open communication. We remember that we are all one big ball of energy. So our oversoul, it's our oversoul, and then it extends to beyond Gaia. So for the feminines who have opened up, the 5D collective, some of you, if not, don't worry, I'll share with you stories. And the feminine has synergy. So our capacity to be able and have fun in life is always because we alchemize our emotional mental planes. It's rooted. Our actual masculine stays with us because it's our mind, the divine masculine, divine feminine. So it's called I believe in myself, I be myself, and I don't change. And you don't have to like it. I actively have adore masculine. Divine, not divine, pretendo feminine, doesn't matter. You are welcome to leave the minute you don't appreciate a person who's different than you. It's okay because we know how that works. Here's what I have to share. Thank you, Sadhguru. Your ways of thinking and feeling, your likes and dislikes, your philosophies and ideologies, they all melt down when you fall in love. So we hang out with expanding pieces of consciousness. And I know you. I walked with you once upon a dream. I know you. The gleam in your eyes is so familiar, a gleam. And I know it's true that visions are seldom what they seem. But if I know you, I know what you'll do. You'll love me at once, the way you did once upon a dream. La la. So, one of my favorite cartoons. I hope I did okay with, I don't know how it works with the whole how many seconds or not, but if it goes offline, it goes offline. I hope I did okay. So we're discerning to the extent that we can, and we know what true authority is. It's not the 7 to 14 charming, those blind, the adaptive child and maladaptive that need good therapy, but all people in a shame button, they're actively in hell, in the body, and they follow teenagers. That's what I call the adaptive child with a venomous tooth, and they actively know how to eloquently wield their mouths, which is why the other teenagers believe them. Peter Pan with Lost Boys, Lost Girls, Lost State. We have integration of brain. So an actual divine feminine has integration of brain. Compassion is always on, always. And that's because we're always healing as transitions happen. And that means whatever takes place, likes, dislikes, the dynamic will unfold into a prosperous moment. So when we meet our twin flame or flames, we know it's going to be good, even as we don't know. And that's because, again, we have plus and minus charges that we work through as a feminine, again, who has had the Kundalini awakening, spirituality awakening. I can tell you your oversoul expands if you're a 5D collective human being. With mysticism or not, means you know how to repair ruptures. So you know how to say, I know what true love is. It is one, knowing that those who are not ready to forgive and that it comes last, they need Patrick Teahan. And they need, therefore, good childhood developmental trauma therapy, whatever it is, they can go and get all that stuff worked out. And then they can come talk to us about romance. Because until that moment, your divine masculine is not passionate. It's going to be a flake. In fact, you're not going to be impressive because you're not going to do any miracles. So you know why a man won't text you back after fucking you, ladies? I found out. Now, granted, I'm a solo polyamory person, so I don't like to give any of my relationships labels. And I am in favor of no hierarchy and, again, relationship anarchy. As a person, I will not be objectifying you. I like to use your name, and then also we are going to wait to see if you know how to actively love, because universal love means you love all 8 billion people and growing. And actively, one of the lovely human beings in my life, I'll never forget when they shared with me something along those lines, which is beautiful. So people who have an open third eye means they know that we're all imperfect, and they can say so, but they know that they can work to get to change. So some of us, we don't need to change because we're expanding pieces of consciousness. That means love button didn't go off. I have a love button. Thanks, Jesus. Okay. Some people, they will change because they go and they become their own cosmic flower. They open up their heart chakra through healing and their sacral through healing their inner child wounds. That's the only time. Once you do that, then you can come back around. And that means to relationships. Until then, you wait because you don't know how to talk in a way that is of a functional adult. Okay, so we don't hang out with people, and meaning we don't have a romantic anything with somebody who doesn't know how to have an open heart while they're talking to us and then consistently be present. That's why, again, you can make mistakes. We all do. Nobody's perfect. You will have words that you use that somebody might be like, oh my God, but we won't be like, get away from me. Let me cancel and block you, unfriend you. That doesn't happen unless I actively need to. And, I've had my own situations that never got out of hand. The people that I do know that it does get out of hand, I have Terrio for you. He describes what it looks like when you have people who don't have healthy boundaries, which are all adaptive child pattern behavior people and maladaptive. So again, they need good therapists. Terry Real, Patrick Tiahan. There's also, what's his name? One second. Dr. Daniel Fox for personality disorders. And on that note, anyone who wants to love will go and, again, learn to love themselves first so they're not confused and then come back around. Then they'll be an actual divine masculine. So divine feminine will know that those who come in and out, so when men tell you that a man won't text you back because once they're done fucking you, they have contempt and disgust towards you and shame, you say, wow, they need a good therapist. I'm so sorry for them, because that's really not fun when you meet an actual human being. So it doesn't have to be a man. Divine masculine, again, divine, you have your own. But what I'm saying, for me at least, my divine masculines and masculines overall, they're all men for my counterparts because I'm a divine feminine. And you and I can share a gleam and our past. Yes, and we will. How you treat me is actively going to show me what you're made of. So I know how to be myself. Do you know how to be yourself? And if yourself is a Cusco narrow state of consciousness, you're not going to know love, because you're actively going to be in a behavior that does not involve an open heart and an open communication, because you're going to be the porous boundary people, the ones that have porous in a way of getting chaotic. So they get afraid and they go into manipulation with deceit, like that squirrel from Cusco land. And when they're in their grandiosity, they become the angry squirrel in Cusco land. If they go rigid, and those are the two ways that a brain that is non-integrated will go, a human being who doesn't go to get therapy, so that they can become completely mindful and then, again, come over for mindfulness, mindsight, all spiritual self-help and secular. They can go the rigid route, which is they immediately close their heart. You can tell because you feel they're no longer there. And so here's what a feminine, again, mystic, I will perceive a person shut me out. I won't be shut out. They just got a wall. They're in their own little prison. The chaotic one is like, okay, I need to figure out how to make you feel safe because their nervous system is all revved up. The other ones, they choose to hide themselves, and it's like a shell. So they'll be, in shame, miserable at home, basically a sad story because they might be completely vulnerable, but they won't seek help because that's what happens. If you're not getting help from a good therapist, you're not seeking to help yourself. So, let alone do you want to have anything to do with an actual divine feminine, because we're unconditionally loving the actual ones, not the pretend ones. The pretend ones like to say, good boy, good girl, let me pull you here. I have a leash. Let me drag you around. Here, I'm going to give you meaning. So they don't get fulfilled. They just get dragged around places, and then they wonder why it's not fulfilling because they didn't go to therapy to get themselves out of the low self-esteem, indirect communication, passive-aggressive manners of martyrs, blamers, superiors. And really what it is a dysregulated nervous system that has nowhere else to go except for Pat Ogden, sensory motor, with child parts work and EMDR, so you can learn how to work your nervous system, feel no void, no anger, get out of those maladaptive patterns that don't actively heal your fear of abandonment, your fear of rejection. No, actively doesn't heal anything because you don't know the psych education and that it's your embodied brain. Once you go to good therapy, then you start working, then you're going to know how to open your heart. So the rigid ones, they close themselves off. If they're in the grandiosity, then they look at you and I'm so better than you, see, and they actively can compete with people from their life, by the way. So long story short, those people, the gleam in their eyes, whatever it is, it doesn't actively have any impact on a 5D mystic in the enlightenment soul age group, because we'll perceive what's going on and we don't do your unconscious subconscious is my business. No, you and I will interact with words. And if you choose silent treatment, it's okay. In fact, that's what I appreciate about those who go rigid, is that we don't hear from them, and that's okay. I don't want to be with somebody who doesn't know how to talk to me. If you're ashamed of yourself, you don't know how to be yourself. This isn't a relationship. I'm in a relationship with no one except for whatever it is that you are unfortunately hiding, not only from you, but from the world. It's very straightforward. And that's why the people who understand how spirituality and sciences come together know why it's important to share good therapy. Then you can talk about love. Because until then, you don't know how to love yourself first, which means you can't give me your shirt because you don't even know how to follow the laws, let alone how to feel good. You actively will battle me. And in your brain, you won't tell me what you're thinking. So, you can walk with people. Our oversoul, I have an oversoul full of beautiful, beautiful moments from the past to this lovely present life. And what I can tell you about this song and the human being who comes to my mind and that rainbow heart that I got gifted, I already know why they are the one and they will be the future. So it's a secret for a feminine that I will share when I get our group of 5D Mystic Feminines, because I'll know you'll know what I'm talking about. And not a secret because it's something that needs not be said, but there's a way that it works, this expansion of us, this, I don't want to use the word reincarnation, but basically when you know your past lives. So I don't like to use that word because it just doesn't sound right to my ear and doesn't feel right to my heart. It feels right to say that we are the essence of love and life, and that intelligence, the universal love, it's not an energy like a machine. It's like the air that you're breathing in, and that it's a feeling with that air of blissfulness. So that perfect day where your body is at ease, you're enjoying a moment with a loved one, and that's that loved one that is a life partner. A life partner doesn't hide themselves from you. They actively want to share every moment with you, which is why, again, true love means you can make mistakes, say sorry, and care about each other's inner and outer well-being. You can be polyamorous, monoamorous, doesn't matter. You can be of religion, no religion, doesn't matter. Emotionally mature people, they know how to have flaws and integrity, and then to lead a life that is mindful and or spiritual, depending on what background you want to have. I'm conscious of being myself, and I know that true love is that. In a securely attached body, you can love another. In a securely attached brain that is a functional adult, you say, here, I have these feelings, this action did this, and you talk it out. Splinters and ruptures don't interrupt or break the love. No, that actively doesn't happen ever if you are a true feminine from the get-go. If you're not, it's once you get to be a feminine, which means you go and heal the shame, blame, fault, revenge, the abandonment, rejection, and the injustice, humiliation, the shame, all the childhood wounds. You heal all of that which was taken away. That's something sacred. Your first 3 years of life, they matter. So do the first 8. So do the first 16. Those are where your charge states are at. Until the moment you don't have that clear, you're not even in your higher self. And that's actively why we have so many of those 4D mystics out there telling a very crappy love story when it comes to twin flame, flames, or soulmates and your oversoul. So your oversoul is the most beautiful of experiences. As I got to meet my oversoul and I got Claire's, the part that awoke me to something I had forgotten is that every body and every mind, every emotion, right? It is there for the life that you are. But if you don't claim your life, if you don't claim the inner world of you and say, I deserve love, I deserve to love me, I deserve to feel love, I deserve not to feel numb, I want to go. So as long as you're a person who doesn't feel deserving to live and you don't notice my suffering, I can take care of it. I want to. That's the moment of truth, because you're going to want to live a life of meaning and connection beyond the solo self. You're going to look inward. Now, it's sad to say that the masculines, that's why they're not impressive, nor are the feminines, the ones that I've met. But again, that's an unfair statement. I did not have rupture of anything. I did not get ruptured from I'm Maria. I'm a differentiated 3-year-old right now, like I was when I was a kid. And I am not ashamed of me because I got a mom who let me be me. And she said, good, go, go. Plus, the Neapolitans, every cockroach is beautiful to their mother. So I knew that even if I was the ugly duckling, I would still be loved. And there you go. And I got to have a twin too. And I got to know what repairing ruptures is all about. And so again, I know you. I walked with you once upon a dream. I know you. The gleam in your eyes is so familiar. The gleam. So this person's gleam from my oversoul, this beautiful secret. It took me a while before I was like, huh, wait a minute. Look at how many things I uncovered. And then I had another secret, another surprise. And that one was cool too. Very different, but still cool. And that's something for another episode. In the meantime, thank you for stopping by. We're going to have some more episodes. I just don't know how they'll be rolling out. But our topic will be about true love again, and, how we can have flaws and be ourselves and all that great stuff. So like, share, and subscribe if you want to help the channel grow. And also, if you enjoyed, of course. If you didn't, you can, do the, I don't like it. And then we know about the bots. And that's something cute. So thank you again for stopping by.